Good morning children. In the previous classes we have discussed how Britishers adopted different territorial expansion policies. So here the complete administrative system of the British is coming to change here. So as Warren Hastings, who was the Governor General from 1773 to 1785, Warren Hastings was the Governor General from 1773 to 1785. He was one of the many important figures who played a significant role of the expansion of company power. So Warren Hastings had also initiated many policies. Also because of his policies, the expansion of Indian territories under the company power became very easy. So here by his time, and the company had acquired power not only in Bengal. We know that in 1757 the company Battle of Plassey taking place, and company was able to capture the power in Bengal region or the Bengal territory, which was one of the most prosperous territories in India or most prosperous regions in India. Later on we know that the Britishers divided their Indian territories into provinces, which was later known as presidencies. So the larger provinces in India was divided into administrative units, which was called presidencies. So British territories which they had under their control were divided into major regions, which were known as presidencies. So there were three important presidencies, or the presidency cities were there, or presidencies, mostly three presidencies which were known as Bengal, Madras and Bombay. Each was ruled by one governor. So there were three major presidencies: Bengal, Madras and Bombay, which was ruled by a governor. So all the territories in India, all these presidencies were jointly held by one administrative officer who was known as the Governor General. Okay, so each presidency had a governor. He was the head of the presidency, and all the presidencies were together administered by one person who was or one authority who was known as the Governor General. So the supreme head of the administration in India was the Governor General. He was the highest authority in India. So that means the company had the Governor General for the entire administration of Indian territories. Warren Hastings was the first Governor General. He introduced many administrative reforms in order to capture the Indian territories, but he was also providing justice to the people of India also. He was not such a rude personality. Okay, so providing justice, in the case of justice providing to people also, he was very keen, much interested. From 1772, a new system of justice was established for the administrative purpose and also for providing justice. He adopted a new policy or new system was established here, and we know that we followed the traditional ways of providing justice. Okay, the rulers had their own court of darbars, etc. So here from 1772 onwards, a new system was introduced. Each district was had two courts. So they divided the presidencies into each presidency had many districts, and each district had one administrative head. He was known as collector. So here also each district had two courts, which was one criminal court, which was known as Faujadari Adalat. Okay, a criminal court. Each district had a criminal court and a civil court. The criminal court was known as Faujadari Adalat, and another one is the civil court. Okay, civil court, which was known as Diwani Adalat. So criminal court, all the criminal cases will be discussed there, and in the Diwani Adalat, civil cases were discussed. So here we know mostly large number of Muslims and Hindus lived in our country. So Maulvis for the dealing the cases of Muslims, and Hindu Pandits were interpreted Indian laws, because the European judges, they did not know about Indian law, so that in order to help them here, there were Maulvis and Hindu Pandits also were assisted or interpreted the Indian laws for the European collectors. District collectors were Europeans. We know that they were the district collectors who presided over the civil courts. European district collectors were they are appointed in each district. Okay, so the criminal courts were still under a Qasi, who is a Qasi and a Mufti, but under the supervision of the collectors. Both courts were supervised by the under the collector, district collector only. But generally here the Maulvis and Hindu Pandits also interpreted the Indian laws, because the Europeans did not know, European collectors or the judges did not know much about the Indian laws. Okay, because the different religions, Muslims and Hindu religious people had different types of laws. Okay, so the criminal courts were still under the control of a Qasi and a Mufti. Qasi is a judge there. Okay, and Mufti is a person, a jurist in the Muslim community. Okay, so these two persons handled the cases also here. Okay, and the criminal courts were still handled by the Indian Qasi and also Mufti, who just he was a jurist also. So this was the way the administration had taken place by the British East India Company. So here the major problem, one of the major problem was there for dealing the Hindu law or the Hindu the cases, because Brahmana Pandits or Brahmin Pandits were had many different interpretations of the local laws based on their Dharma Shastras. Dharma Shastras are the books of Hindu laws, which was mostly dealt by the Brahmanas or Brahmana caste or learned Brahmins here. So that it was very difficult for the Britishers to deal the Hindu cases also. It was completely different because which was based on the different caste. The Hindu laws which was written in the Dharma Shastras, which were also were based on the different caste. Different caste people had different laws, different types of justice had to be verdicted. So it was a problem before the Britishers. In 1775, 11 Pandits were asked to compile a digest of Hindu laws. So the Britishers called 11 Hindu Pandits to compile the Hindu law. So N.B. Halhed later translated all this digest into English, so that English collectors or the English judges were able to understand the Hindu law. What is okay? So here by 1778, a code of Muslim law was also compiled for the benefit of European judges, because the Muslim law in India was also different. Okay, based on the religions. Different laws existed. Still we know that in our country there are different law for the Hindus and Muslims and other religions. That is what the now the present day government is trying to make a uniform civil code. So all Indians will have the same law, not related with their caste or religion. So that is what the present government is making the uniform civil code. So here we know that the European judges under the Regulating Act in 1773 was introduced. New Supreme Court was also established, while a Court of Appeal or the Sadar Nizam Adalat, that was also existed in Calcutta, but a new Supreme Court was also existed. We know that the principal figure or most important figure in the Indian district was the collector. We know that the collector is the most highest authority in a district. So as his main title suggests, a collector. Collector means a person who is entrusted to collect revenue revenue from the regions and taxes, and also maintain law and order in his district with the help of judges. There are many judges in the court. Court judges are there. Collector is the supreme authority in every district, but he was assisted by many other officers like the judges are there, police officers, and darogas who are the inspectors. They all assisted the collector. So his office or a collector's office was known as collectorate, became the most important center of the district. Okay, so this was also the collector handled highest power in a district also. Okay, so there were previously, we know that while rulers or the princely states or the kings ruled our Indian territory, Indian regions or Indian kingdoms, there were different. The king was all in all powerful personality, but here in each district there was a collector. The European officers or the European collectors were appointed. They handled the entire power of the district. So how the company army was set up by the Britishers, that we are going to study in the next class.